What's your longest fast? Longest fast, did 22 days on coconut water, but then my water fast was I did 8 days. So the first 3 days just dry fast, and then another 5 days just on water. So 8 days is my longest, and I'm doing a 7-day in a couple days. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna come back gonna come back 9 days from now, having just done a 7-day fast. That'll be cool. Will you ever buy a house? Maybe. I don't see the point right now. Like I'd rather just, think about buying a house is you sink a big chunk of money into something, right? You sink a big chunk of money into something for what? For extra added responsibility? Like, why would I spend all that money on a house? I don't get it. If I could wrap my head around it, maybe I'd do it. But I don't see the point. Like, I'm not trying to make money with a house. I can make more money just with my business. Let's say I buy $1 million house. I don't think I'd spend less than $1 million on a house anyway. I probably want like a $2 or $3 million house if I'm going to live in it. Let's say I buy a $2 million house. Realistically, let's say I buy a $2 million house, and let's say I don't buy it all at once. So let's just say I get a mortgage out for it or something. I'm paying into this house so I can live in a really nice house, but I'm already living in a nice house, and my only responsibility is to cover the rent, which is like $3,000 a month. So why would I don't understand why I would pay, let's say the mortgage is $4,000. Let's say the mortgage is the same. Let's say I either rent for $3,000 a month or a mortgage is $3,000 a month. You might say, oh, Ted, it makes more sense to buy into the mortgage because at the end you have a house. And okay, I see that point, sure. But I'd rather have the freedom that comes with only paying $3,000 a month to rent a place. And if anything goes wrong, I don't have to worry about it. And I can pick up and leave at any time I want. So I just have complete, like I'm so free. I feel so free as a renter. And yeah, I guess one of the downsides is like I can't totally customize a house because it's not my own. But other than that, like I can pretty much do whatever I want as a renter here. I'm not going to get kicked out. Like I'm good. I love my freedom. I value my freedom more than I value owning a freaking house. Like if you own a house, you have to deal with everything. You have to deal with the plumbing and the electricity and like the roof leaks and shit. Like it's just a pain in the butt. Renting is dope. I can take all my time and energy and focus and put into my house, just put it in my business. And my only responsibility is to pay rent once a month. And I'm tempted to freaking just pay my landlord for the whole year. Like, hey, here's $36,000. Don't ask me for rent for another year. Like, I would just love that. That'd be amazing. I was told not to do that though, just for legal reasons, in case I pay them $36,000 and then they ditch and they leave. And like they sell the house to someone else and I have to pay the rent to the new person now. That would suck. So I was told not to do that, but I could at least set aside like a rent fund or something, have like an account in my bank that's like $36,000 and just auto pulls from that every month. But anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll buy a house anytime soon. That's for sure. Maybe when I get a bit older and if I have a bunch of kids or something and we need our own house, then yeah, that makes more sense. But right now, as a solo entrepreneur, I definitely do not need a house. It's a waste of time and money. I'd rather put my money into other things.